Let's hit it.
Yeah, because that's something that nobody's talking about. I didn't mean you to talk about it.
Alright. Go ahead, start this thing, bye.
My mustache here is...
Do you have a mustache now?
And like he trimmed it down to nothing, which I like, because I don't like to have that scraggly vagina hair all over my face. My father has a mustache and a beard, so does all my uncles. But
do your cousins have mustaches and beards, or are they going to shave in prison?
No, I wasn't even prepared for that.
That's why I did it. Because you weren't ready.
Nobody knows it isn't my cousins, and people that.
They all know now!
Nobody knows.
They are Mr. Pyramids over here's first cousins!
Okay, so good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning.
Whoop, whoop.
It's that type of news. I'm Dutch Pyramid, and that is Bruce Robinson.
That is really, that is really a terrible, terrible thing to happen. I really do feel bad for Minister Leaks. Because it's not his fault. They're grown.
I won't say anything.
I honestly, like, I don't know. I don't know the upbringing or anything. I can't speak too much on the situation.
I'm just saying that if you are buying your mom, you know, expensive things with no job.
Oh. I didn't know it was that type of situation.
I'm not going to go too much into it because, like you said, it's a very...
sticky situation?
Yeah, and we don't typically talk about our court cases, but... yeah, that's all I'm going to say in that matter.
They certainly threw me and my sister on the bus for not doing anything. It's funny when you actually have convicted felons. Sympathy gets thrown.
Well.
Moving on.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today? Because it ain't about those two.
No. What we want to talk about today is third pillar of the economy.
Do we have one?
No.
Do we need one?
Yes.
Why?
We need a third, fourth, and fifth pillar. Right now, anticipation is growing for the third speech and the reconvening of Parliament after the PLP delegates conference. Everybody's talking about, oh, you know, that was a good speech, it sounded nice, and everybody say, oh, what is going to be the opposition leader's rebuttal, how is he going to address that speech, what is his speech going to be about. So everybody is now talking about, you know, the third speech. So we feel as though something else should be included in both sides' third speeches, and that is contingency. Now, we have known that IB has been threatened for a good 10 plus years.
I'd say IB has been on the fringes for at least a good 15 years.
And
10 years, put it mildly.
We haven't heard any contingency for what happens if that time comes, where almost 80% of our GDP is just whisked away, and we...
Is it that much?
Well,
nah. Give or take?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we could be nice to say 70-30. 30 tourism.
If anybody knows the exact percentage, please let us know.
It's things that we do need to address, and we know that the loss of IB will reduce us tremendously. We all know that. But in all of these years, there has been no alternative solutions to how will we make that money up if the time comes.
No, all we've ever done is just, you know, keep feeding international business and attempt to keep tourism on life support.
So right now, obviously, tourism, there's been a 6-year plan released, and, you know, it all looks good and fine and dandy. But again, it's not going to be enough. So we need to have the opposition and the government come together on this issue, because I feel like this is something that they both can agree on as far as if we lose IB right now, we're screwed. And we need to have another contingency plan, a third, fourth, fifth, sixth pillar if need be, to make sure that doesn't happen. So,
I mean, all we've really heard as far as international business is concerned regarding the PLP is fintech.
And fintech is not a third pillar. And I don't understand how people are saying that it's diversifying the economy. It is pretty much like having a box of chicken. And in this box of chicken, you have teriyaki chicken, barbecue chicken, and sweet and sour chicken. Right?
It's an Asian box of chicken?
It's a chicken box.
It's a box of Chinese chicken.
Well, you have all of these chicken varieties.
Does it have Szechuan sauce?
Okay, you have a variety of chickens there, right? And I say, wow, this is a diverse box of chickens. But is it really? Because if I lost chicken, then I couldn't make none of these types of chicken without the chicken. So if I come in with fintech, that's just a offshoot stepchild of IB.
What's fintech? Like the buffalo wings?
Yeah, pretty much. And if I take the chicken,
hungry now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not diversifying the economy. Like fintech is not diversifying the economy.
So
it's a disruptor. That's what it is. And disruptors are good. It's innovative. And I'm not saying that it's a bad road to go down. It's just a gamble that we can take much easier if we had something certain, something that was guaranteed, or at least less of a gamble than fintech. Something like a super yacht business. Remember that? Oh, yeah. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. That is something that could have been, and still can. I mean, I don't see why it can't.
Well, then the question even further begs, like, you know, what do we do with that America's Cup Island?
Well, I figured out who it is. Pink Sand Entertainment. That's who it is.
What?
Pink Sand Entertainment is the one that I was trying to figure out the name of last episode.
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't know if they've got. I know they have a plan for it if they do get it, but I don't know if they've 100%.
No, I think they're down there, but they're not the whole island.
I was about to say.
But I'm just saying that it's something down there.
You know, why don't we keep saying how Bermuda's got such talented people. Why don't we actually do something to facilitate that?
Well, if entertainment, to me, and to ITTP and ITTN, entertainment is a viable third pillar. We think that it's something that can restore this island if we took the time to invest.
But at the same time, entertainment could also very easily push up the international business world and would definitely be a big help to the tourism.
Well, I feel like Bermuda has always tried to be something that it's not. I mean, I understand that IB was a blessing when it came, but we also need to remember that Bermudians like to work with their hands per capita. Like, we have a lot of people who like to be tradesmen here. We have a lot of people, like in my year, it was commonplace for lots of people to grow up working on bikes, working on cars. It's just what we have an affinity for. We have an affinity for tourism. We have an affinity for, you know, giving hospitality service. We have an affinity for trades. We have an affinity for all of that stuff, you know, and yet, you know, we're praising people who are in IB. Like the Young Rising Stars thing was all people who went away to school and got degrees. Well, whoop-de-doo. I'm sorry. Whoop-de-friggin-doo. Like, you have people who have done great strides in arts. You have people who have done great creative strides. And I'm not saying, oh, you shouldn't be proud of getting a degree, but I mean, right now, that's the norm. Like, it's everyone wants to run away and get a bachelor's degree and come back here and work in housekeeping. So,
except they come back here and work at Linda's.
But I'm
not saying there's anything wrong with Linda's.
Nothing's wrong with these jobs. But what we're saying is, like, why is that the only people that we exalt in this country as far as an official magazine? Why is it always folks in business? Why not in arts and creatives and painting and things like that that actually drive a society's innovation?
But another question is, how many artists do we lose? There's a I can't remember the woman's name, but I learned about her yesterday actually. There's a writer in England that's extremely successful right now, but she left Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Bermudians in some TV shows, but they ain't coming back.
Yeah,
we've got Bermudians in.
You had a good lady named Karen Franks who's doing Abigail's Dream, who had to go to Canada to get support for her endeavor. And it's like, that's something that is strongly plausible to be international. And we don't jump on that stuff.
I mean, we've got our mate doing the Adventures of Raz, and even his thinking about not staying.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you have people who are creating these things, and where is their recognition?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, it's been 20 years of, oh, look, this person has graduated to this and that. They've been called to the bar. I'm like, that's nice. I'm not a lawyer. I love it. I'm glad to see how people succeeding. But what about the other side of things? What about the creative side? And I feel like as long as our government continues to, you know, and I mean by government, I'm addressing both. As long as we continue to try and salvage and give life support.
Well, technically speaking, the word government does mean both parties.
Yeah, but you have to be certain for folks who, you know,
are stupid.
Think that we're only talking about one side. But we, you know, as long as we're still trying to give CPR to IB, and I'm not saying, oh, let's let it slip away, but are we able to stand up against the European Union?
No.
No.
That is a multi-trillion-dollar mega machine.
No. And the legislation is coming. It is being drafted.
And isn't Bert going to Germany soon to and denied letting the experts go with him, which is kind of worrying.
Well, listen, you had Christopher Famous go up there and say, oh, funny man in a hat, but we're going to change that soon, nodding to independence. At the same time, our IB industry, a lot of people don't like to admit this, but a lot of people like to operate here because we have an umbrella of the UK. A lot of people feel safer by that. It's just the fact of the matter. People let IB in, and people say, oh, well, this is a country that, you know, is stable because it is attached to a larger country. And that has always been something that we've been able to market along with our very great regulatory system. But that lead that we had when we were some of the first people to successfully regulate this industry is now waning because you have the larger countries now adopting that system and catching up.
If people think that that IB is going to be safe from the EU with independence, man, they don't care. All they're worried about is money.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who's in charge of Bermuda. The EU. Remember, England's not even a part of the EU. Wait, okay. They Brexit.
Yeah, but if you think that because they leave the EU that they won't be subject.
Oh no, I know that they will be. I'm saying if we become independent from England, do you really think that the EU, who already is pissed off of England, is going to in any way, shape, or form loosen their sanctions on Bermuda?
Nope.
You lost your damn mind.
And then we become Puerto Rico. We'd have to run to America, won't we? And we see how
Puerto Rico can barely feed themselves, but they're like, look, like for you, America, we're about to claim independence.
Yeah.
But what Puerto Rico has that we don't is land. Ooh, that they can grow stuff. Puerto Rico, if Puerto Rico does like a 15, 20-year plan, they will be self-sufficient.
But I think that if we did a plan where we started reclaiming land and putting stuff on,
I think that we should start reclaiming land.
Start making makeshift islands.
There's no reason why we can't. I mean, y'all want to say it's new technology. It's not. We've been doing this for thousands on thousands of years.
And we need to start getting hip. Like, okay, we're gonna open up a new sort of income for marijuana, according to the premier. But don't even get me started. Again, it's not recreational.
Well, that's stupidness.
So my thing is, again, we're still half measuring. Like, what is the foolproof? I thought about this for the last 10 years plan that both sides can come up with to let me, the everyday Joe, or Mr. and Mrs. Bermuda, or as the PLP said, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, know that the government has a contingency for when IB is, because now instead of saying if, we need to start saying when. When IB leaves, because that is going to be what looks like the economic reality. And I mean, we've heard about it for years, and there has not been one single finite thing that has come forward. And during the throne speech, we're talking about, during the delegates conference, they're talking about insurance people paying for the insurance over 90 and this and that, but nobody.
How many people do you even have that are alive over 90?
We're gonna find out.
I mean, really, like.
And I heard that.
But we're not even gonna have pensions. Okay. So let me get this straight. All right. So it's okay that we're not gonna have a pension after we turn. What's the retirement age? 65.
Well, for now.
For now, probably. The retirement age probably will be 90 by that time.
Yeah, for real. The debate's game.
At least we'll have free health care when we're 90 and senile and can barely function properly.
So what are we gonna do? Because we need more people to pay into the pension fund. We need more people to pay into the government coffers. We need another few industries to make up for IB. We can't just sit by and try to resuscitate something that we are barely holding on to.
I think if we lessen the pressure that was on international business, then I feel that it would be more sustainable.
But we've always pandered to IB. You know what I mean?
I understand that we've always pandered to it, but if we loosen up the load that it provides the economy, then maybe it'll be easier to save.
I personally think that we should have a third pillar so that we can get.
We should have a 4th, 5th, and 19th pillar.
No, but we should kick IB in the butt and start really getting in there and wondering why our people can't hold certain positions. Because right now, we, for a long time, have allowed IB to get away with murder because it makes up the majority of our GDP. And we're afraid, and our government has been afraid for generations to properly tackle why there are people in IB who who have jobs when there are 2 and 3 Bermudians qualified to do that same job.
You
and
know
the only time we ever took industrial action was for public sector workers.
You know what would be another viable industry that we already have right now, but it's just on the fringes of death? Retail. Why not give certain, not certain tax cuts, but like certain percentages for retail? I mean, I know that there already are, but I mean, perfect example. The iPhone XS is going to be like, don't quote me on this because I don't remember the exact number, but right now they're selling them for like $1,900 at audiovisual. Audiovisual, they're $1,900. At the hub, they're $1,800. Other places, different. Stores in America, England, everywhere else, do not pay $1,000 to bring in a phone and then have to put, because if you think about it, all right, let's say guy from audiovisuals gotta go to America, pay $1,400 for the phone. Then you gotta pay $200 to bring it in. But at the end of the day, you're only making the $200 profit. Okay, stores in the States, stores everywhere else in the world don't have to do that. They buy it at its, they don't buy it at market price. They buy it at a certain amount, and then they sell it for a certain amount, but it will be significantly cheaper because if you go to America right now and you say, hey, how much did you pay for your iPhone? They will laugh at our $1,900. They're like, you paid $1,900 for what?
That's right.
I sold my firstborn child for $1,900, they'll say. But the thing is, and even clothes. The average t-shirt, the average men's t-shirt in Bermuda is the cheapest. $35 that I've seen. Now I've seen shirts in Bermuda sold for $35 that I pay $7.50 for at Walmart and Target.
You got that right.
And I'm not expecting prices to be cut in half. I'm not expecting anything. But if the government puts something into place to help out retail, encourage more people to work into it, encourage how many young people do we know that make their own clothes?
A lot.
We have our friend Maya that works with us had a line of crochet bathing suits and clothes that she had that blew up this summer to the point where she was telling people no because she had no free time to herself because she was sitting home every day knitting.
Got that right.
Because people were like, we like this, we want this. Our friend James makes clothes all the time. Our friend Michaela makes clothes all the time. Why isn't there structure for these people, these young people, to create clothing stores, to create businesses? Why isn't Gibbons Company and A.S. Cooper saying, hey, you know what, rather than selling Ralph Lauren and whatever the hell, we sell some Bermudian stuff. Now if they do that, it seems to me, I haven't seen any, it's possible, but I don't know.
Well, even if you did like grocery stores, or you just give them a rack.
This is what I'm saying.
Just give them a rack to start off and pay rent.
We love to see Bermudians making clothes. We love to see Bermudians cooking. We love to see Bermudians acting and singing and dancing and everything, but we don't want to pay to allow them to do that.
And you know who else would like to see that?
America?
Tourists.
Tourists?
Tourists would love to see that.
Oh my God, tourists. Let me tell you something. When I went to Italy, what's the first thing you see? You get slapped in the face by Italian entertainment. I went to Greece. They came off the plane, slapped you in the face with how like great they were, and they were dancing and they were singing, and I'm like, this is great.
Even the Caribbean cousins, you know, you step off and you get hit in the face. You know, Jamaica,
you land. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You land in Hawaii. Who's the first person you get greeted by? You get greeted by a hula girl, gives you a little thingy.
Hello.
Do some fire dances and everything. Some Jason Momoa dances and all that. Well, he's Hawaiian.
Oh, I knew. Yeah, I knew.
Either way, you get what I'm saying? It's like, we have all the ingredients, we just don't have the right cook.
And we focus too much on things, like we don't want to pay. This is what it comes down to. We don't want to pay for creativity. And it's not just us, but our government doesn't want to pay.
And then when we get half-assed creativity because they're not getting, the artists and the workers aren't getting paid to do stuff, but really all they want to do is criticize. Well, I felt that could have been much more professional. It's not professional if you're not paying for it.
And both parties use these people when election season comes around.
They go to all the Bermudian singers and all the Bermudian entertainers and all the people, but they don't want to pay.
Don't want to pay. And then we wonder why they all go away.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm rapping.
And then they want to, and then I hear this a lot. Oh, all you creatives are lazy. All you creatives, you don't want to work. I'm like, no, we do want to work. We just want to work with the tools that we've been given. I was about to say by God. But I might get too much love for that one.
That BHS, what's it called? BI. There you go, your people. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You know how many people I know that could sing the hearts out of BI?
A lot.
You know how many talented people went to that school that no one even knows about?
A lot. I know about it.
Matter of fact, they had this man sing at my grandfather's funeral. And I forgot where I was for a second, because this man, I can't remember his name, but oh my God, this man could sing.
People would pay $1,900 for the iPhone.
And this is the thing, I would pay to hear that man sing. And I'm like, why aren't you singing?
They won't pay $100 for a ticket.
Nope.
For that man to live comfortably there.
Let me tell you something. We won't pay $50 for a ticket to go watch a group of our Bermudian artists. We won't pay $20 to go to a Bermudian comedy show. We won't pay $15 just to buy a local rapper's mixtape. Unless you know him. We won't pay anything, but we'll pay. The iPhone X's was sold for $2,200 last year when they came out. No, but they'll pay $2,200 for the latest iPhone. They'll pay $5,000-$6,000 for that Louis Big. We'll buy new cars every year. We'll buy all this unnecessary, and then we'll have a problem with us buying this stuff? Absolutely not. If you've got the money, buy whatever you want. Feed your children first. Please, like seriously, the amount of parents I see with Gucci bags and can't afford grocery for their kids, I mean, come on, man. Priorities. But that's a topic for another day. I'm not saying don't buy things. I'm not saying because we need to buy things because we need to put money back into our economy. And how do we do that? We buy stuff.
Well, we were living in a bubble for a long time.
We
just kept thinking, we still are. We keep thinking that if we keep running to IB, it will keep embracing us. But we have to remember that nothing lasts forever. And this is an issue that we had almost 13 years, I think 13 plus years to work on, and we have not done a thing. And the only thing I heard was PLP wanted to take off duty tax for baby clothes. And I'm just like, well, they just added the sugar tax for the 3 sugar companies. This is what I'm saying. So clearly,
it's not a priority.
Why do we allow our political biases to jeopardize our entire country? Both parties have put forward things that can work for our country. Both parties have put forward things that if you don't agree with them, it's completely bonkers. Okay? We can't allow our allegiances politically to determine our children and grandchildren's fate of poverty. But the thing is, that's exactly what they do. It goes back to the analogy that I used a few episodes ago, where a gentleman said to me that he was describing the PLP, and he said they're like your favorite sports team. You stick with them no matter what. And I'm like, that is stupid. I'm like, regardless of whatever party allegiance you have, what we're saying is
party allegiance is the dumbest thing in the world.
To come together and work on it, because it's not just the government. We're making an appeal to the people of Bermuda too. Come up with ideas. What do you think? Because we are already investing in what we think the therapy is, and that is entertainment for us. We think that if we can continue to invest and make the moves we're making behind the scenes, then entertainment could become a viable force in this country. Yeah, and I know a lot of people are doing the same thing.
Yeah, but the sad reason is the only reason why we have to do that is because if we don't, who will?
And this is what I'm saying. The sacrifice
help us.
The sacrifice of time it takes for creators to create, and the sacrifice of time it takes for them to do that in an industry that is barely existent with no structure and no regulation.
Let me tell you something.
Where I have to sell a paint and I have to downsell it just to make a profit.
Let's break this down. Let's break this down real quick. Let's break this down for somebody. To the average Bermudian that doesn't understand these things, let's use, for example, a music video. Do we not love when our young artists make music videos? Do we not, clap and be like, oh, that was wonderful. Let me break down how that music video had to get made. Alright. If it's shot in HD, which it more than likely is, that camera that they used, including the lens, cost between $1,000 to $2,500. And I'm lowballing it here. Because if I was really explaining the cost, it would be, you know. Alright, so that's, let's say $1,500 for the camera.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Now, then you have to pay the cameraman. And that's either by the hour or by the job, which could be upwards between $500 to $750. Or $1,000. But let's lowball it so people can at least understand. So that's $2,000 already. Okay. This is all coming out of the artist's pocket.
Or manager.
Or manager.
Or both.
But let's keep it simple for them. Let's keep it simple. Alright, then you gotta pay, if the editor is the cameraman, then slap another $500 on there. If it's not, then still slap another $500 on there because I'm gonna have to edit it. Now that computer that they're editing on, if it's a Mac, what most users use, that's about $2,000 for the average Mac, even if it's a PC. Still money. All right, so that brings us up to about, I'm not gonna math. What are we? We're at 3,500. That's 2,000 plus 1,500. No, that's 4,000 because it was 2,500 for the camera. So we're at $4,000 right now. 4,000? Is that 4,000? Yeah. Well, $4,000 right now. Adobe Premiere Pro is about $99. All right, so that's $4,100. Because you have to pay Red Laser to do it for you because you can't get it because it's not available in Bermuda. All right, cool. Then you gotta pay for lighting.
Yeah.
Then you gotta pay extras. Then you gotta pay models, makeup artists. And when you think about it and you actually break it down, that average music video that you spend 5 minutes looking at costed that artist or that manager or that team
almost $5,000.
Over $5,000 easily.
And that is considering that the people follow that, because a lot of artists are forced to cut corners. So that's why you get a lot of these ramshackle videos, because people are like, I want to pursue my craft, but guess what? I can't afford to do it professionally.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing. Let's say $5,000 for that, and once again, we're lowballing it here. $5,000 for that video. That's not counting the hours that artist had to write those things. That's not counting the amount of time he had to spend saving that money. That's not counting the sacrifices that he had to go through so he could realize his art. And y'all don't even want to pay $5 for his album when it comes out.
And we can personalize it. I mean, we would love to have a background and all that stuff, and we'd love to have a little mic. I'm
not talking about us.
No, I'm talking about us. Okay? Me.
Well,
I'm talking about us.
Well, they can give us $400,000 instead of that lawyer. How about that? We don't need the $1.2 million y'all gave Brahma. We'll take $400,000. I can do a lot with $400,000.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I can give a few people jobs with $400,000. Maybe all those people that lose their jobs from Belco will come work for us afterwards. But we're gonna talk about that later, not now.
But I do think that we need to start as a community come together and thinking of what we feel as the industries can grow that will be able to become a third, fourth, and fifth pillar, because we have chosen entertainment, and that is what we've chosen. If you want to get behind that, then please do, but we would like to hear from you what you think, because whatever ideas you guys come up with, we will be willing to scream and shout and yell about it.
Not all ideas.
Well, you know,
someone comes up there and says, let's make prostitution. Actually,